Yo, welcome. This is a little update. Well, we're gonna talk about the Connor response to the whole drama of Hassan. I know there's also drama also happening with H3 and Twitch and Hassan, so that is also another thing I gotta cover. Probably not gonna cover this video, maybe tomorrow, who knows. So yeah, today's video we're gonna talk about mainly Connor, CdawgVA. He's also part of Trash Taste. He also like a lot of live streams, charity, a lot of good shit, He's a good guy. I see most of his clips. I actually watch him for like a little bit, but like, yeah, regardless of that, you don't want to hear me talk about me gushing over the YouTuber, but yeah. So basically, this was his response to the whole drama that happened with Trash Taste. If you did not know, Hassan, political streamer, was in Trash Taste, a anime podcast. Not really anime, they joke about that, but yeah, they're not an anime podcast. And many people were very upset that Hassan was in the podcast. And you know how Hassan is, he's very controversial as of now. He was before, but now is getting to like a really high point. So many people who are Hassan haters and Trash Taste viewers also do not like Hassan in this podcast, even though it's the second time. The first time, it for some reason it went up under the radar, but this second time it was crazy. Many people were basically hating that episode that they released. All right, so that's basically all you need to know about contacts. So this was his response to the whole drama thing. Basically, gonna play a little bit of it, probably like skip some stuff that are not really that important, but yeah. So this would be it.
Thing is, and a lot of people don't like this because the way that we handle it, and the way that you should handle a lot of these things when they happen, like drama, is that just don't. Sometimes it's just better to just not address anything and just let it just fade. Mainly because when things get too heated, almost, no matter what you would say in that moment, people are still going to be going to be unhappy. Or at least, the group of people that want an apology or whatever, anything like that. If you say anything, they're just going to be more unhappy and it just adds more fire to the flame. So that's why generally we're just kind of like, all right, we'll just let it, let it die down, let it move on. Let them get over it and have their fun for the week. Most of them are brigaders. Well, okay, look, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. So this is gonna get clipped as well. I know this now. So I want to be very mindful about how I approach this. If I'm gonna mention anything here, is that I think there are a couple of important things to mention. So I think, first of all, I think from our podcast perspective and from our perspective, if it is fair to say that if we don't engage in politics publicly, because it's just a mess. None of us live in, the US. None of us are in any of these kind of intense political situations. I think it is also fair to say that, yeah, why would we bring someone political on? Which I think is a very fair and extremely, a very fair criticism of us to do, which I agree with. And then I think the most annoying thing from my perspective and this whole thing is that there were legitimately fans of Trash Taste who were unhappy.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's frustrating because you can't see or actually hear from people who watch Trash Taste or who aren't happy because it just turned into a political dick swinging contest.
Right. I stopped watching Trash Taste a few months ago. But to be honest, I don't care, bro. I don't care.
About which side, which is bad on our part, because we've never had any politics or any kind of talks like that in the comments. So I think it was kind of bad of us to kind of almost invite that. Second of all, the thing that was also very frustrating is that no matter what people were saying, there was a lot of brigading on a lot of sides, and I think that two things can be true at once. There were Trash Taste fans who are unhappy, and there also was brigading happening, which is also very frustrating to deal with, because then it's like, okay, now we can't actually listen to any criticism on the episode because both sides are jumping in, right? And I even told Hassan, I was like, hey man, can you not? It's bad enough that one side is doing this. Please don't bring up the fucking episode and be like, hey, send people. I was like, just be above this.
All right, hold on. Before I got a question. Like, I know their episodes like they do like a week before, so they're not really up to date like with the recent stuff. But I don't like his like Hassan has been kind of like a little bit coming up in controversy like as of late for like I don't know like a week. No, maybe 2 weeks. I don't know. So kind of questioning why they would bring Hassan, who is getting more controversial over time, into the podcast, knowing that it might uh piss people off, which it did, which is kind of weird. But okay, I guess because they did bring him in the first, I guess, episode. I guess they thought it was fine, but I don't know, man.
You know, don't don't do this. You know, because I look, if people who are have very extreme beliefs want to go crazy, I can't stop them. They can do whatever they want. But you hope that at least another side wouldn't do that as well. So I told him, I was like, hey, please don't do that. And he was like, yeah, man, okay, my bad. But I think as well, I told Hassan as well, I was, hey, look, the show is not political. We don't want to deal with politics. We're most likely not going to have you on again. No, and that's not like anything like, hey, man, it's just like, look, we don't want to fucking deal with politics. I think the Trash Taste viewers also don't fucking want to deal with intense fucking comments. It sucks to read. People just getting fucking upset as shit about it. And I know some fans of Hassan will be annoyed about that. But I just told them, I was like, look, at the end of the day, we don't want to invite like a fucking shit show to the comments. And I think it was ignorant on our part to think that if we just didn't talk about politics, that it would stay out of it. Because that was our thinking, because we already had him on once. And it was fine.
Yeah.
But some people were angry.
Guess it didn't work, huh? Yeah. I mean, lately has been very political. I don't know what the fuck's happening. I don't know if it's just in the U.S., but holy shit, like everything, everywhere I see is just politics, politics, politics. The president did this, the president did that. The economy is crashing or some shit. So it's kind of hard and it's a bit stressful. Like people don't want to know about politics all the time, right?
It was ignorant on our part to think that if you didn't talk about politics, it wouldn't matter. But yeah, a lot of things have changed in 2 years. I don't keep up with what's going on. I get all of my news from the BBC. I don't go on Twitter. I uninstalled it.
Base. I mean, you should, I guess, start doing it, like just a little bit. I mean, just to not be like a little bit out of touch. Or, I won't say out of touch. How do I say it? Like be a little bit in the know of what's happening, right?
I think all of us were kind of blindsided by it. So
they could prevent something like this from happening.
Like they're out of touch. I'm like, I guess, like I think that's safe to say if being in touch is living on Twitter and engaging with politics 24/7, because we just don't do that.
I mean, I'm not saying go like Twitter 24/7. Just like get to know like what's happening on the internet, just like a little bit, not too much, and then like get to know what's on the like politics, just or not even politics, just like what's happening around the world a little bit. Not go like fucking no lifing it, because that is also bad.
We've never done that. I think that it's unhealthy. I feel like the level of vitriol is almost like at a point that is so like toxic to everyone involved, that I have no wish to engage with it. And so
I mean, most of the stuff that Hassan said was pretty extreme. He bringing a terrorist and glorifying a terrorist in his stream, and also tweeting about how to make like little weapon. I'm pretty sure it was towards a fucking political. It was a political figure, I think, and it was someone important. But he was making like a whole ass image of this double barrel shotgun, like homemade, which is what the fuck. And then with this thing right now, with they should kill. What's it called? This guy's name, Scott, whatever the motherfucker name is, I forgot. He's irrelevant. Anyways, yeah, he's a pretty a little bit too much. He also said that not One Piece. He also said like Luffy is also a terrorist, which is what the fuck. Okay, weird. But yeah,
I just don't. I keep up with generic news, but I don't engage with any political spheres online. Like, so it's kind of hard to keep up with. It's endless doom scroll. And I also think as well, I think it's really important to mention as well that I think some people forget as well, just because we speak English, and a lot of our viewers are American. None of us have ever lived in America. None of us are American. We don't keep up with what is going on. I already see too much politics from a country I don't live in that I don't want to know. I see more about that than my home, the UK, which is crazy. And Japan as well. I get fed fucking more American stuff. I turn on the news. It's all American
America.
Stuff. And I think it's also important to mention that I think that, again, there were Trash Taste viewers who didn't like the episode and don't agree with it and who are disappointed. And I think that's valid, I think that's fair to be. But obviously it doesn't, just because we have someone on doesn't mean we agree with every single thing that they would say. Either. Now, fun fact. Because I'm sure people are wondering. I was keeping an eye because I was looking at what was going on, and I love looking at the stats because I don't know. Even while all this stuff was going down, I did find it terribly interesting to look at the back end stats of what was happening, and it was kind of interesting. I'm not gonna lie. So the way YouTube works as well when you lose subscribers, by the way, is that it does it in increments of 10,000, and so sometimes some people, they love to be like, oh, they lost this many, right? Not entirely true. I can actually tell you the exact amount of subs that we lost because I think it's interesting.
I did not know, like, they lost subs. I know they like got hate, but like losing subs, I did not know that.
Serves value to explain that it is not just people outside of Trash Taste. We did lose subs. I can tell you exactly how many right now. Let me find out. We lost 4,000 subscribers, which is not a lot, but I also think it is disingenuous, and I think it's bad to pretend like that people aren't unhappy. So like
4,000, bro. That's a lot of me. What you mean? What the fuck?
I'm like that's sad. I feel bad that 5,000, 4,000 people who watch Trash Taste feel like they can no longer watch it. That feels bad, and that's a miscalculation on our part. There was also a couple of stuff flying around that was interesting. So first of all, a lot of people were accusing me of deleting comments. We're not deleting comments. We never have. YouTube has auto moderation, so naturally, if you put the word terrorist in a comment, a lot of the time YouTube is going to flag that because why wouldn't they? And there was some of the comments were kind of crazy. Some of the language was inflammatory, and they're like, why is my comment being deleted? And they said like literally like the 5 key words that would get you banned. One other thing that I noticed is that when I looked at the comments, and I'd scroll, and I don't know what's happening here, and I don't know what exactly is happening, but I would literally see comments, because I was watching the comment feed from the back end, right? So from like the admin side.
Alright, yeah. So he's gonna usually like talk about like the comments getting like a bunch of like what you call it, likes, and then instantly be scrolled to the top. Yeah, I've seen this part already. It's not really that important to just talk about. I'll probably skip this part.
I don't know what that was about. There was also the only things that were disappointing from me, my perspective as well. That like really, I was like, man, what the fuck? Is that people would then make whole narratives based around because we had X on. That we then couldn't criticize any other creator. We couldn't, they're like, these people have changed. They're horrible, yada, yada, yada. And that was like, oh, okay, that sucks that people are just making assumptions, but not a big deal.
I mean, that's just the internet,
yeah, no,
so.
I mean, look, the reason why we didn't address it right away, we wanted to wait, was because a lot of people were, they were just demanding things. There were a lot of comments that were like, you need to delete this episode. And where I feel pretty confident in saying this, where if you ask Trash Taste viewers, do you want them to delete the episode? I think most viewers are sensible. They would say, hey, even if I don't agree with this episode or I don't agree with this one, I wouldn't want you to delete an episode.
I don't care, bro. I don't. I mean, I haven't watched it, so I can't really say. Oh man.
I think That's crazy. Now, also, I want to make it very
I don't know if you could hear that, but that shit was loud as fuck.
clear as well, in case you're watching this on YouTube, that because this is no doubt going to be a clip, that I'm sure that there's a good chance the comments, might get taken over depending on how big this clip is.
All right, let's see it. Quick check. Absolutely losing respect for Connor. This response reeks. Oh, you can't see it. Fuck. Alright. Absolutely losing respect for Connor. This response reeks of either trying to shift the blame to fans or he became too out of touch. Is he out? I mean, he was a little bit out of touch. I'll be honest, just a little bit. Like, how are you gonna bring Hassan, someone who's really controversial, is into politics, which is also really controversial, and like not get hate in this time where political stuff is like on the rise, especially in the U.S. You bring it also an American. I don't know. He's not American. Also bringing Hassan, very popular streamer, and not expect to get backlash. I mean, it's like how what? I mean, come on.
Please think for yourself. Please don't just read top comment and form your opinion based around that.
Okay, let's see more. Oh God. All right. I only watch the BBC, and I think I'm well informed. Is wild. Okay, let's go to news then. This is so out of touch. Lamau, he is pissed off both sides. Let me see right here. So weak-minded of Connor. No one is about politics. That's literally the state of the world. And yeah, most of these are very against him. Let me see this. I'm not American. It's not American news or American stuff. It's Islamic phobic, which is everywhere. I think I said that right. Please don't go off on me. Let me see. Can you see this? Alright, yeah. Not caring for American politics while your best friend with Mouse, a disabled woman living in Puerto Rico, is incredibly sad. I mean, just because you're... I mean, I don't get about this. I mean, yes, you could be friends with someone who's Puerto Rican, right? And not care. The fuck? I could be friends with some fucking... I can't think of an example, but you know what I mean. Just because I'm friends with someone doesn't mean I'm gonna, get into their politics. Like, what? No. Unless you're like friends via politics, but like who? What kind of friend goes like, oh man, so tell me about your politics? Like what? I mean, I feel like there's some people who actually do that, but I don't think that's gonna be like the majority of it.
Obviously, you're all adults. I trust you. And what I really appreciated is that a lot of Trash Taste fans did seem to be just tired of people picking a side and being emotionally charged about it, and we're kind of just like, hey, maybe it's not for me, all good, next episode. Or hey, I don't engage with this, I'm done. So, I appreciate a lot of the sensibility in this, because I think, look, we live at a time where everyone is so emotionally charged, and there's just so much rhetoric and so much, everyone's got an opinion, everyone's got a side. And so I appreciate that people sometimes can have a sensible approach to it. I think what you will always get from me is never a clear-cut answer. You will always get an argument that I try to be as sensible as possible, and I try to consider all sides. And I'm not like a centrist or anything like that, or whatever.
Wait,
or
what?
a fucking thing like that. The reason I don't talk about my political opinions online is not because I don't have any political opinions. It's just because I just think that the online space does not get anything out of me talking about it. There's nothing to engage. I don't think it provides any value. I just hate France, and I think that's a fair opinion.
Based. Alright, I feel like yeah, this response was. I mean, this is how best he would have could have done it. I mean, many people not not really liking it, but I mean, he is talking about Hassan and his haters slash followers, and then trash taste, and then yeah, I mean, was this probably the best he could have gone with? Maybe. I mean, he could have. Nah, he couldn't even ignore it because it was so big. I mean, I guess he could have tried, but yeah. So that is basically his response to this whole drama thing that he caused because he was the one who invited Hassan over. Alright. So let me know what you think of the video. If Let me know if he was in the right, or he could have done better, or if he's just out of touch, or if you just don't care. Alright, so yeah. If you like the video, leave a like, subscribe, share this video with a friend, and watch the whole video to the end. So I feel like I said that in the beginning of the video. Fuck. Okay. Peace.